Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to teach you how to make a skirt for like $1. I found this fabric at Goodwill.
I think it's gonna go great. All you have to do is do what you do best, which is sew, and it is gonna go greatly.
So this is what it looks like. What? Evie, did you make that? Yeah, I did. Thanks. Okay, so the first thing I did was the fabric is like, it's too short, so I took like, this is like the top of a curtain. So I took the seams out of like here and here to make the fabric longer so it could have like a full length skirt instead of being like a mini skirt. Okay, now that that's done, you take it and you kind of trace your pattern over it and then you cut it out in the pattern. Okay, so what I did was I cut using the seam that was already there from the top, so I wouldn't have to seam it again. My hand looks really fat. So this is like the back, and up here I wrote where the darts are gonna have to be, so I'm gonna fold that in and I'm gonna have that be there. I left about like 1/4 of an inch for the seam because you don't want it to be too small. And then other than that piece, there's this like side piece where the buttons are gonna go. The buttons are gonna go along this. The edge has already been folded over and sewn. So I'm gonna sew this to the bigger piece. And this is the front where the buttonholes are gonna be. The buttonholes are gonna be on this side. So I used like the entire length of the curtain. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start by pinning the back part of the skirt to the flap where the button is gonna go, and you have to pin the pretty side to the pretty side. Okay, so the first stitch that I'm gonna use is like an A stitch, which is just like straight up and down, and then I'm gonna close the seam with like a C or a D. I don't know if it's different on different sewing machines, but it's like a zigzag stitch. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Sewing is absolutely so magical. I don't even want to be a dork, but like, what the heck? It's so cool. Oh, okay. So, the next thing you're gonna want to do is take the front flap where the button is gonna go, and then you sew that to the back also. So now it's done. Not really, but like for the most part, like all of the major stuff is done. So what you do now is you kind of make sure that it fits your body, because now would be the time to make alterations before you finish it. Okay, so now what you're gonna want to do is so you take the back, so this is like the little back, and where you drew, where the darts were going to be earlier, you just kind of pin the outsides, and then you're going to want to sew along that, kind of at an angle going in. I'm not sure what angle, so we're just going to kind of, you know, go for it, I think is the plan. Yeah. I don't know what is going on, but it's gonna be fine. Are you worried about it?
Yes, you've ruined everything.
You're supposed to say no!
My whole career in operation was betting on that. You've brought it all down.
Okay. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so like 4 inches down, if we can. Is my mom home? Mom! sometimes your sewing machine just comes unthreaded for no reason. And so it just means that you have to do it again. So be careful. It's a really good tip. Expert tip, you know? That's why my subscribers are here.
What are you gonna call your subscribers?
I'm gonna call them the,
What's up, crackheads?
We've come to a unanimous decision that we're gonna, just kind of seam it. That can't be right, but we're... You don't even know what's right. Stop laughing at me.
Is it hem? Is that
Oh, hem it, yeah. So the hem is going to be about 1/4 inch from the top, and I'm just going to fold it over, and then I'm going to run the sewing machine along it. I pinned it down first, even though I'm too cool to pin normally. You know, it's kind of important to pin it. You know. That's all. Just remember, every time that you finish a stitch, you need to make sure that you go back and forth a couple times so then it like doesn't fray, I guess. So we're done with the skirt, and now we're gonna make the buttonholes and sew on the buttons. Okay. First, I've got to read how to do that, so I'll get back with you. So what you're going to want to do is lay out the buttons the way that you want them to be. Wow, look at that, some buttons. And then you're going to want to mark where they are. So this side, this is like the long side, and so this is the side where we're going to make the buttonholes. It's, you know, it's kind of a bit of a process to learn how to do this. But I did it. So first we're gonna test to make sure that it's gonna work out. So I decided earlier that I wasn't gonna use the buttonhole feature, but I'm gonna use it for the top half, and then I'm gonna switch over to manually doing it for the bottom half. If your sewing machine doesn't have a buttonhole feature, that's probably fine because it's not very helpful. Just sew it in the general shape of a rectangle that's kind of short, and then make it big enough for the button to fit through. But there we go. That should, if I'm correct, be, nope. But we're close though. We're close to this being a buttonhole. It didn't work out very well. I'm gonna keep trying though. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. A little ugly, but definitely a buttonhole. So I mean, I kind of did that. So it's a little bit fugly, but do we care? No, because it's all about personality. Oh my god, I just made a buttonhole, bitch. This is so exciting. This is definitely the happiest day of my entire life. That's not true, but it feels like it a little bit right now. Oh my god, so here we have our buttonholes. How exciting. Let's look at me in the buttonholes. Wow. Evie, did you do all of those? Yeah, I did. You can definitely tell because they're pretty bad. But we're gonna ignore that. So now what we're gonna wanna do is kind of lay this. You can see where I drew the line. Kind of in line with this, and then mark in the middle of each buttonhole. God, I need to be a little bit more organized when I do this. Mark in the middle of each buttonhole where you want to sew the button, and then we're going to hand sew all the buttons in.
Betsy Ross sewing your flag.
Oh my god, I was going to say that, but I was going to call her Betty White because I wasn't really sure.
Oh my goodness, Abby.
Oh my god. That's embarrassing. We're gonna cut that part out too. So what you do when you're sewing buttons is you should probably hand sew them because it's just really hard to machine sew them. Yeah, Mom? Yep. It's my mom. Sometimes you just have to do something you don't like. Yep. Just like Harrison has to film this. Do you think that people are gonna like this?
I think so. I hope so.
You know why I love you so much? Because you're so supportive of me.
No, I'm not support anything that you do. No shade at Harrison. I would not support anything that you do.
No, I meant shade at Harrison. So in total, this skirt cost me $198 to make. However, if I had to purchase the sewing machine and all the supplies, instead of finding them in my basement, it would probably be a couple $1,000s. So if you don't have a sewing machine, this probably wouldn't be worth your time. Unless you're super into hand sewing and actually like super skilled at it, don't hand sew it is the long and the short of it. But look, it's a skirt and it covers my body. It's, you know, it's pretty good. My mom is gonna be very proud. I'm gonna show her. I'm really excited to go to school and wear it to school and get compliments, and then also have people be like, girl, why are you wearing a skirt? It's like 30 degrees. But I'm still gonna wear it. I'm very excited. Maybe I should wait for it to be a little bit warmer, but it's gonna be like 2 months, and by then it's not gonna be as exciting for me. But now we're gonna go get soft taco shells.